Today, we live in a nation in which 1 out of 4 major corporations pays nothing in taxes, where the tax rate on profits at 12% is now the lowest that it has been since 1972, where corporate revenue as a percentage of GDP is now the lowest of any major country in the OECD. I'm a member of the Budget Committee, and I hear these corporations coming in and they're saying, my goodness, we can't compete against the rest of the world. But in fact, and they talk about nominal tax rates, which may well be high, but nobody pays nominal tax rates. In terms of effective tax rates, as a percentage of GDP, we are the lowest of any major country on earth. And is a percentage in profits, taxes on profits, lowest since 1972. So the point has to be made that if we're going to be serious about deficit reductions, corporate America, which is now enjoying record-breaking profits, is going to have to step up to the plate. And we are not going to balance the budget on the backs of the elderly, the children, the sick, or the poor. Now, offshore, every year, corporations and the wealthy are avoiding more than $100 billion in U.S. taxes by sheltering their income in the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, and other offshore tax havens. And here it is. This is the absurdity of the U.S. tax code. This is a modest, how many stories? 1, 2, 3, 4 stories. And you'd all be shocked to know this is a Guinness Book of Records, because 18,000 corporations have managed to do business in this modest 4-story building. And everybody in the world knows that this is a total fraud, that what this building is about are mailboxes in order to enable U.S. and other corporations to avoid paying their fair share of taxes. Offshore corporate tax abuse is not just limited to offshore tax havens. Companies are also being rewarded in the tax code for shipping American jobs and factories abroad. These corporate tax breaks have contributed to the loss of millions of decent-paying manufacturing jobs in this country and the closure of 56,000 factories since the year 2000. So this is not even just a tax issue. It's an issue about jobs in the state of our economy. And that is what the Corporate Tax Fairness Act that I am introducing in the Senate today, and Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky of Illinois will be introducing in the House of Representatives. So that's what this is all about. Our legislation will stop profitable corporations from sheltering profits in the Cayman Islands and other tax havens to avoid paying U.S. taxes. Our bill will stop rewarding companies that ship jobs and factories overseas with tax breaks. The Joint Committee on Taxation has estimated in the past that the provisions in this bill will raise more than $590 billion in revenue over the next decade. $590 billion over the next decade. Under current law, U.S. corporations are allowed to defer or delay paying U.S. income taxes on overseas profits until this money is brought back into the United States. This offshore tax scheme has provided 2 perverse incentives for American corporations. First, it motivates corporations to shift as much of their profits as possible overseas by setting up subsidiaries in tax haven countries. Second, it allows corporations to receive huge tax breaks for establishing manufacturing facilities in countries with very low or no corporate tax rates. Closing these tax loopholes would reduce the deficit and create jobs for millions of Americans. The legislation that we are introducing today will reform the tax code by cutting the deficit, cutting the deferral of foreign source income that allows corporations to avoid paying taxes on overseas profits, closing loopholes that allow U.S. corporations to artificially inflate or accelerate foreign tax credits, preventing corporations from avoiding U.S. taxes by setting up a post office box in a tax haven country, and eliminating tax loopholes for big oil companies that allow them to disguise royalty payments to foreign governments as foreign taxes. So that is where we are today. Bottom line is, if we are serious about deficit reduction, the Congress has got to listen to the American people. And the American people have been very clear. They do not want to see Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, other important programs cut. They do want to see the wealthiest people in this country and large profitable corporations start paying their fair share of taxes.